Hey guys, what's up? It's Parvor. Welcome back, bringing you some new Mercy gameplay. That's right. This is the gameplay. Excuse me. The gameplays you will be seeing will be involving the new Mercy. Patch went live on Tuesday, and basically the patch was quote unquote nerfing Mercy, mercing her Valkyrie stuff. She only has one res available, and I actually wanted to talk about that and show some prime examples. Now, I will be playing Mercy in all these games, and in the three games you're going to see two of them on Blizzard World. This first one you're seeing is going to be a team composition of Mercy and Moira. Um, Devantos is queued up with me as well, but Devantos is going to be playing Soldier 76 in this one. Now, I've already done quite a few comp games and quite a few quick play games, and the people who are using mics and doing Mercy are actually complaining, stating that they don't like the nerf. They don't like how she plays out now, and actually, just saying rip Mercy. Mercy's officially dead, and I actually wanted to talk about that. And in my honest opinion, no, Mercy is not dead. She is actually still very good. Okay, as a solo healer, because that will be one of the gameplays that I'm showing you. Right now is going to be Mercy and Moira. I think the next one is me by myself as a healer, and then the third one is going to be Mercy and Zenyatta. Now, basically, Mercy only has one res available. Okay, and then it's on a 30-second cooldown. Even if you activate Valkyrie, you still have to wait 30 seconds. So now basically you have to play Mercy a lot smarter than before. Yeah, people are saying it's a nerf, but just adjust and play differently. Now, you're gonna see in this gameplay how basically for sure I want to try to keep the tanks alive as possible, because everyone knows now the tanks have so much health and they can soak up so much damage, and the longer you keep them alive, basically the longer your entire team lives, because they're going to be sponging the damage, allowing the DPS to do their job. Now, as you can see, Torb died a few seconds ago, and so did Diva. Now, the reason I did not res Torb was because I know his turret is around somewhere. I don't know the exact spot he placed it in, but his turret basically serves as a DPS character, able to put out damage. But the moment Diva died, you see that I rezzed her, because basically Diva and Zarya are going to be our shields in this team setup. So we need to keep the shields up. And, that's pretty much why I res Diva. Her defense matrix can, so soak up, not soak up, block, deny some of the enemy incoming damage. So that's pretty much why I rezzed her. Same thing with Zarya. Now, if I had to choose, as you can see, Zarya is dead, and I kind of actually forgot about the Valkyrie refresh. That's why I popped it and I just went to go res her. But when that happened, and I saw that it was on the slow cast, I was like, oh crap, I totally forgot about that, and I wind up paying the price. So it will take some adjusting at first, because you're used to the Mercy with the two reses. So yeah, you will make mistakes like that. That was a prime example right there of making a mistake. I was used to the old way. I did it out of reaction, and I paid the price. So that's bound to happen to the Mercy players who play a lot of Mercy, or even people who just started playing Mercy and just got to the two reses, and now they got to try this new way. Anyway, as you can see, enemy Zarya did her ultimate, so I wanted to keep our Zarya alive. Diva's now asleep, and because she's asleep, I'm under the impression the enemies are going to gun her down. That's pretty much why I kept a healing beam on her, because I want to keep her alive. There goes Zarya. Overextending a little bit, but just enough to the point where I can reach her. Now, I also want to keep Moira alive, just in case it gets too hectic. So yeah, you may want to, keep your second healer alive if you see she gets weak. But as you can see in this gameplay, we actually won. We held the point. You know, enemies never captured it. Devontos gets play of the game as Soldier 76. And I'm going to show you, how much healing I gave out to my team after, I'm going to obviously show you guys the scorecard. So let's just wait for this play of the game to finish. Yeah, that's when Zarya grabbed us. Okay, Devontos actually got one of the cards. I didn't. Neither did Moira either. I guess we didn't do that great, but he's still enough to win the game. Anyway, as you can see, first gameplay, and as Mercy, I put out 5,000 healing. Now, all these games you're going to see is basically quick play. None of these are comp because I want to adjust, to see how Mercy plays out before I even take Mercy in competitive. Now, this is the next game, and this time it's going to be on attack. Now, in this gameplay, this is going to be me solo healing only. There will be no other healers teaming up with me for this one. So in this gameplay, you're gonna see how you basically need need to play Mercy now. Now it's all about being smart. Now Mei is officially dead, and now is when you have to make the decision. Should I waste my res on Mei and then have to struggle for 30 seconds to make sure the team stays alive? So I leave Mei alone. I figure, let me try to res McCree because he's the DPS of the team, and unfortunately it so happened where McCree died, he overextended, so when I went, I paid the price for that. So that's a couple of things you got to keep in mind. You have to watch where the teammates die, and you have to actually consider, are they worth resing? You need to look at the overall team fight and see if resing that player will be of significant value to help you win the team fight. Now, Mei is dead again, but because I'm in safety, I res her. And you're going to see that I keep damage boosting Junkrat because Junkrat obviously denies area, and I want him to deny the enemies the point so that we can capture it. But at the same time, I need to keep D.Va alive because D.Va's our tank. So, as you can see, D.Va's in the fight. Yeah, the other teammates are in the fight as well, but I want to focus on keeping D.Va alive and having her keep her mech. Now, this is another thing you want to do as well, because Mercy only has one res, and if you happen to get caught in a fight, now you have to use the environment to your advantage to like hide and stuff. You saw how I was hiding behind that stand while D.Va went away, but I still kept D.Va within my line of sight, and when the enemy D.Va tried to go around and attack me behind the stand, I just immediately flew to our D.Va for safety. So now as Mercy, you have to keep the environment, use the environment to your advantage, and as you can see, we captured the point. Now excuse me, but I feel like I have to actually sneeze, so give me one moment. Okay, I'm back. Now, you're going to see a couple of times that this video kind of skips, and that's because basically I was skipping the death animations, and me walking back to the team and all that, because the video was actually extending to almost 40 minutes, and I managed to drop it down to 25. Now, going to continue the same tactic of damage boosting Junkrat, because as the payload is moving up, basically I want him to use his explosives to keep pushing the enemy back, keep dealing them damage to force them back so that we can keep advancing. That's why I keep doing that. And of course, also want to damage boost McCree, and whenever Junkrat's not in range. But of course I want to keep D.Va alive as well. Now D.Va overextends and pays the price. Mei pays the price, and I'm deciding whether I should or shouldn't. That's why I stopped and paused for a bit, and while I was thinking about it, Hanzo killed me. So you will have that moments when you stop because an enemy, not a teammate of yours is dead, and you stop and you're like, should I res you? Is it worth resing you? And you may wind up paying the price as you're thinking about it. Now, Devontos is actually playing Tracer in this one, and obviously I can't afford of really going with him because Tracer, obviously goes to flank, goes around in the back to the enemy backline and harasses them. So it's not like I could always go with him. So if he dies on the enemy side, I just have to leave him alone and just let him spawn on his own and, you know, let him work his way back. As you can see, trying to keep D.Va alive. Now the fight does get kind of crazy. That's why I popped my ultimate. And right now it's basically all about just keeping them alive. And actually I managed to pull it off, but just barely. You know, D.Va did lose her mech, and luckily McCree came in with the high noon and actually got 2 of them. So I believe Devantos is also going to switch over to Sombra in a bit, and then Junkrat switches to Reinhardt. But as you can see, the majority of the team came alive. Okay, yeah, see, there goes Reinhardt. So now because I see Reinhardt is in this, now I have to change my priorities. Now for sure, I need to keep Reinhardt alive as long as I possibly can, because now Reinhardt is the shield of the team versus D.Va. D.Va can suck, you know, deny some incoming damage, but Reinhardt has his barrier, and that's basically the most important thing that we need to have right now. As you saw again, I tried rezzing, I think it was McCree right there, and of course I paid the price. So, gonna be working back to the payload. Now, there is going to be a part where McCree and Reinhardt die. Okay? Not at the same time, but within like seconds of each other. And you will run into moments like this where 2 of your teammates will die and you will have to make the strong decision of which one to res. Because obviously you only have 1 res. And I make the decision to res Reinhardt. I could have resed McCree, yes, but McCree is not going to block any incoming damage. Now, as you can see right here, obviously I'm trying to keep D.Va alive because they're trying to deal with the Bastion, and Bastion basically destroys D.Va's, you know, mech quick, drains out the energy fast and all that. So Devantos also, you know, has switched over to Sombra. Now I could res. The only reason I res the Sombra was because basically the area was safe since we got rid of Bastion. But keeping him alive. See, okay, right here, McCree is dead, but my thing is on cooldown. But so is Reinhardt. But you know what? Reinhardt is more important. So that's what I mean. It's gonna come to decisions like that where it's very important. You have to res the right person if you want to win the team fight. That part I died because enemy McCree flanked and pulled off a high noon. I'm actually gonna die again in like a few seconds, and this part I'm literally throwing default on Mei for this because enemy D.Va threw her D.Va bomb at us. Reinhardt was blocking it with his shield, but then Mei put an ice wall between me and Reinhardt because I was trying to get on the other side of his shield, and her ice wall blocked me from getting there, as you see. And I was on the side of the ice wall where the bomb was. So that right there I'm blaming on Mei. But moving on, you know, like I said, there will be points in the game where 2 teammates will die and you will have to make the crucial decision of rezzing 1, okay, and it has to be the most important character, whether it be a tank or DPS. Now, sometimes if you're running 2 healers and a healer dies, if you're a good Mercy, you really don't necessarily have to res that healer. As you can see, I'm doing this all by myself, and I'm doing a fairly good job. I'm not the best Mercy out there, but I'm doing a pretty good job keeping 5 people alive by myself with no help. And as you can see, we win the objective. You know, it's all about playing smarter now with Mercy. Playing smarter, not harder. I believe this was enemy D.Va who got played the game. Yeah, enemy D.Va with the Mei ice wall. She got played the game. As see, the ice wall is gonna go up, and it so happened I was on the wrong side of it, so I paid the price. Basically Mei's fault, but whatever. This is just quick play. Now, as you see, I managed to get one of the cards up this time, and let's see how I did as far as healing this time. The first game was 5,000, and that was with a Moira. Now by myself, 7,000 healing. Yeah, I died 8 times, but you know what? Like, when you're playing support, it's more about keeping the team alive and not earning eliminations. So be expecting that. Now, this is the third and final game, and it's on Dorado defense. This match will actually go all the way. The enemies will get the payload all the way to the inside at the very end. They won't win the game. Okay, just as a spoiler, but I just want you guys to see basically how I'm playing Mercy. Doomfist already dies. It's early on, so I figure, you know what, it's worth the res, but I'm telling Devontos, because I'm not using my mic, but I'm playing with Devontos, I'm telling him I'm resing Doomfist. You guys need to make sure you try to stay alive, or try not to take as much damage for the next 30 seconds until I get it back. I'll keep you guys healed, but please try not to die for 30 seconds. And as you can see, this gameplay is with me and Zen this time. First one was Mercy and Moira. Second game was me by myself. And now this one is me and Zenyatta. And there will be a couple of mistakes here and there. As you can see, Genji and Reinhardt are kind of overextending. And I could have flown closer to them, but I didn't want to risk it in case enemies came, pop out. That's pretty much kind of why I stood back and Genji just dashed towards me, because I can't. Right now with one res, you cannot risk diving, into teammates who overextend. It's more than likely going to cost you your life. And the moment you die, if you're the only healer, if your team isn't good enough, your team lost the fight. I also forgot to mention that in the first gameplay, where it was me and Moira, there was a part where me and Moira actually died, and because Devontos was playing Soldier and we had a Torb, I told Devontos, me and Moira are dead. You officially have to play the healer. You and Torbjorn have to play healer until I get back. You need to drop your biotic field thing for the teammates, and you guys have to rely on Torb's armor packs to survive. And it actually worked. Me and Moira made it back, and the team was still alive, and not one of them died. So if you have a soldier on your team, if you're playing as Mercy, okay, and you die, if you're using your mic, you need to tell Soldier he has to play the role of healer. He can continue shooting and dealing damage, but he has to use his biotic field to keep teammates alive until you get back. Now, that part I made the mistake of trying to res Reinhardt, because Reinhardt died, obviously, because Reinhardt's the shield of the team. But it's at the same time the enemies were attacking, and I paid the price. McCree stunned me and canceled my res, so it's gonna happen. You're gonna feel that there will be times where you think it's the right moment, and when you start doing it, the enemies happen to catch you in it. So hey, you make mistakes and you learn. Anyway, the enemies will have a Pharah in this game, and I think Devontos had Orisa first, and then he switched over to Bastion, and I told him, since you're playing Bastion, you need to focus on the Pharah, because I main Pharah, okay? And when an enemy has a Pharah, I can tell, depending on what's going on, where the Pharah is going to pose a problem for the team. And for this game, she actually kind of was. So I was telling Devontos, you need to make sure that when you see Pharah, you get rid of her, because I know Pharah will have a habit of trying to, go after Mercy. Now here, Genji dies, and I'm within range, but I see the enemies are there, so I was like, you know what? Okay, they just left, let me res him really quick. But unfortunately, now Devontos is dead, and Devontos is playing Bastion to get rid of Pharah. So now I just have to use his soul to move around. I can't res him, which, as you see, that basically I just did a wrong res. It was between Genji and Bastion. Bastion died a few seconds later after Genji. Obviously that wasn't. I didn't know that was gonna happen, but the person I resed was the wrong person, and we lost the team fight. So now, you know, because we lost a team fight, the enemies are now advancing. So now, basically, gotta start all over. As you can see, Pharah kills me. And basically, you know, trying to keep the team alive, but now I'm trying to use the walls as health. Devontos still playing Bastion, and I told him he needs to reposition himself. I can keep healing him, but he needs to come where I am. He's actually up there at the moment. I was like, no, you need to come over here, because basically you're in the open where Pharah can get you, and staying inside now she's basically forced to shoot down into an alley where you can see her. And I said, don't worry, I'll keep you healed, just keep dealing with her. And basically that's what he did. And you see he's focusing on her, and I'm doing my, you know, keeping him alive as long as I possibly can. He even heals himself to, you know, to speed up the process. Well, I kind of heal Soldier just in case he happens to see Pharah, but obviously he's not focused on her because he's in his own team fight. So as you can see, Devontos got rid of the enemy Bastion. He got rid of Mercy. Unfortunately, we lose Doomfist, and I can't afford getting, you know, going out there with Justice happening. But the enemies will got the payload in, and it's fine. What can you do, right? Devontos was looking for Pharaoh, like, she's right up, just look up. And it got a little hectic. He's like, where is she? Where is she? You know, like, just look up, she's right there. And he got rid of her, so. Now, basically the enemies are in. Is Bastion worth rezzing? Yes. He is worth rezzing because Pharah's the problem, and looking at how our Soldier 76 is playing, Soldier isn't focusing on Pharah. So it basically is up to Bastion to do it. You know, Soldier's busy with his own team fight, fighting people on the ground other than Pharah, so that's why I rezzed Bastion. Because Pharah's giving my team a problem, I know Bastion can get rid of her. Basically, keep turning it into a 6 versus 5 match. That's why I rezzed him. Now here, okay, Genji and Doomfist are in a fight. Not in a fight, you know, duking out the enemies in that little tiny spot, and Doomfist dies. Can I res Doomfist? No, because the enemies are there. I could dive in and res him, sure, but I'm gonna pay the price because I'm with the enemies and they're just gonna gun me down. So he's not worth resing. It's best to just let him spawn and let him come back, which is what I do. Now the fight is going to continue again, but as you can see, I keep running back to Bastion because obviously I know Bastion deals a lot of damage. He drains health very quickly, so I want to make sure that Bastion stays alive. I'll keep going, you know, to heal Genji in them because they're fighting in a tight area, but my main focus is keeping Bastion alive. He died, and as you can see, I brought him back to life, and now he's gonna do his ultimate, and he trashes Winston. Okay, and he also trashes McCree. So because I rezzed him, we won the team fight by turning it into a 6 versus 4. 6 for us, 4 for the enemies, and obviously the enemies can't win that. Now Genji's dead, but of course the enemies are there, so I'm not gonna go in there to res Genji. I figure let me just damage boost Bastion and keep it alive. Here Pharah, you know, couldn't take it anymore, did justice on the both of us, so hey, I tried to get out of it by jumping out, but I still got caught in it. But anyway, this is the end. Gonna pop our ultimate, you know, my ultimate. I'm gonna res Soldier because Devontos has switched over to Orisa, and basically we're just gonna win the team fight from there. So that's pretty much about it. I know this was a very long video and a lot of talking, but you know, it's just to show you guys 3 different examples of how Mercy should be played now, considering her quote-unquote nerf. What's my opinion on this? I actually like it because it also forces Moira to play healer instead of DPS like I've been seeing a lot lately before the change. But you know, like I said, you just gotta play a lot smarter with Mercy, you know, and make sure you rest the right person. But you know, that's pretty much about it. As you can see, in the end I'm gonna have like 10,000 healing, and yeah, there you go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe. I appreciate also support. Keep that Mercy advice, and you do really good with Mercy. And I'll see you in the next one. Hope you enjoyed.